Hey everybody, it's the captain, but I'm not doing a shotgun salute. Today is my uncle's birthday, and I'm going to tell you a little story about me and my uncle. Now, me and my uncle were always very close because he was my godfather, and you know, throughout my life he was always there. He was always a presence when I was a youngster. And you know, he grew up in the village, and I grew up in the village, and my mom grew up in the village, and we, you know, were always frequently crossing each other's paths. By the time I was a teenager, you know, I was pretty much a very well-known person in the neighborhood and in the city in general, and my uncle was a legend, and everybody knew him. I mean, I couldn't say my uncle was the dig without people saying, oh my god, you know, ba 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 ba, you know, I know this about him and hers and this and that. And when I was 14 years old, my uncle and me started partying together. He was 38, I was 14. And my uncle showed me the ropes, so to speak, in the neighborhood of how to handle your shit, meaning partying. And basically I learned other things along the way as a result of that. There's just like an etiquette that you learn about hanging out with people and drinking and carrying on and the whole party world. And I realized as a result of that that's all everything was. Everybody from every walk of life came to my uncle's house. Everybody who was anybody came walking into my uncle's door from the city. And people from every single walk of life. We're talking three-piece suitors to coveralls. You know, three-piece suit to coverall. These are the kind of people that came walking into my uncle's house. And they were always looking for one thing and one thing only. Somebody to get down with. You know, drinky, drinky, puffy, puffy. That's what was going on over at Uncle Dig's. And by the time I was 16 years old, I was a master of that type of lifestyle. I knew how to get along with people of all walks of life based on that alone. Because in those situations, you realize that we're all the same, that we all communicate on the same level. And my uncle inadvertently taught me that. I learned a lot of things from him. And today would have been his 67th birthday, and I miss him so much. So much. I miss him like I miss my grandpa, really. But, you know, back in '98, Uncle Dig took a turn. The lifestyle destroyed him. The drinking, the pot smoking, the drug taking. It turned him into an invalid, basically. You know, he got a thing that's called Korsakoff's Wernicke's disease, and I will post it in the link at the bottom what Korsakoff's Wernicke's disease is. And he never came back from it. I lost him forever, and I found him sleeping on his sofa. Came walking in, "Hey Uncle Dig, it's me, Jimmy." And he rolled off the couch I was gone for a couple of days, and he looked at me, and he was like, oh, and he was like 1,000 miles away, and he never came back. And it was from drinking, pot smoking, cocaine snorting, not eating. I mean, he was like skeletal. He was skeletal. And he was gone after that. I mean, he wasn't my Uncle Dig anymore. He was, but he wasn't. You know, I mean, he was like somebody who's got Alzheimer's. But it's not Alzheimer's. It's Wernicke-Korsakoff's disease. And you do have short-term memory loss, just like somebody who has Alzheimer's. But the things that he taught me, and the life that we had together, and the things that we did together, is uncle and nephew. I mean, he was Uncle Dig, I was Jimmy Joe. I mean, I was a legend in my own mind, in my own mind, but in my own right as well. And so was he. And he was never able to escape his legendary status. You know what I mean? He was never able to not be the Dig. He was never not able to be the guy who had a drink in his hand. He always had to have a drink. He always had to be drinking it. He always had to be smiling. And he always had to be happy. Because people gave him almost an immortal status, that all you ever had to do was go over to the Dig's house, and he was going to have a drink, and he was going to have a smile, and he was going to be happy, and he was going to be welcoming, and he was going to show you a good time, and he could never let people down. He could never let people down. He always had to be the Dig. He always had to be on. Uncle Digger always had to be on. He could just never be him. He could just never be dude who liked to read books. He could never be just dude who could do the fucking Herald Times crossword puzzle. He could never be dude who knew Erie County by the back of his hand. He could never be one of the most intelligent, most inventive, most creative, most individualistic person that you could ever meet. He always had to be drinking and partying dude. He always had to be the dude that was like gonna help you get down. And it fucking was his own undoing. And I would love to have him around today, so that at 67 years old we can have a drink together. But there's so many friends that I have now. Even myself. Even me. Where I say, you know what? It's time to take my doctor's words. Well, it wasn't even my doctor. It was my doctor's assistant. You know, she was a doctor. She's a student doctor. And she told me that life is for living. Life is for living. Enjoy it. Take it for what it is. There's all kinds of things in life that you enjoy doing. Enjoy consuming. Do those things, but do them in moderation. Don't keep doing it until it kills you. You know when you're doing something that's hurting you. I don't want anybody to stop being who they are. Uncle Dig doesn't want anybody to stop doing what they are. I believe that he's talking to me a lot. And he's saying, you know what, have some fun. But don't overdo it. I mean, be a 60-year-old dude that could still have a couple of beers with his friends. Be a 70-year-old dude that could still do a puff. If that's what you want to do. Be an 80-year-old guy that could still have a roast beef sandwich with a glass of beer on the side with some fries on a Kimmelwick roll. On a Kimmelwick roll, man. You know, there's so much in life to enjoy. But you can't enjoy it if your brain is fucking gone, man. Just keep that in mind. Today's Uncle Dig's birthday. I don't want to do a shotgun salute to Uncle Dig. I want you guys to understand that there's a price for overdoing it. Life is for living. Enjoy everything that there is in moderation so that you can keep on enjoying it as long as you're alive. Peace. You rock. No, it's peace. Peace. You rock. Be strong. And Uncle Dig's birthday. I eat.